Hello. All right, so I decided to go live today. Even though I'm doing the advent calendar, and so they're not releasing videos really right now, but I want to go on today because a lot of people are just going through shifts. There we go. And going through purging a lot of wounds, a lot of deep wounds. Really, let's just begin by taking a deep breath in. So the whole point of these Monday lives is so that you can come in and ask your questions of where is it that you need support to move through that which you're going through, to maybe even celebrate someone and just to hold space for that, to acknowledge yourself. Just begin by taking a deep breath into the belly, into the chest, and into the nose. Exhaling out, letting it go. So, the light does not want to shine today. Ooh, the light does not want to shine. That has really been the theme today for me. I'm going to have a difficult conversation today, releasing something that has been ongoing in my whole life, and the light not shining has really been the theme. So this is perfect. What came up for me today as I was sharing something with a friend was a deep wound of people pleasing used to really trigger me because that's something I try really not to do, and I'm all about empowerment, coming into your power and not putting others ahead of you, because you can't give to someone from when you have nothing to give. You can't give from lack. You can only give from abundance. You can take care of yourself, put yourself first, and from that overflow, give. Not try to create something from burnout because I have to, because it's deadlines, but how can I give myself more? And then it just allows you to have that inspiration, that motivation, that action, that inspiration that comes from the heart, from the soul. So people pleasing is completely not at all in alignment with that. And this would trigger me a lot. And when people close to me would do that, it would also trigger me a lot. And of course, when we are triggered, it is because there's a story within us. And for me, for years, I just couldn't understand where surely I am absolutely not a people pleaser. So how is this story in me? And what came up was the fact that in my close relationships, and this began with a parent, that it was this need to be seen, to be heard, to be validated. And I was doing that for people who were not pulling their own weight. And I know many people can resonate with this, can relate to this. When we are there helping others, the others that are not able to be there for themselves, the people that are there wanting to stay stuck, and they may say that like, well, I don't want to be stuck, but at the same time, they're not taking those action steps. And that's today, this is something that was released because I realized that was my pattern from a young age. And I remember a particular moment when we had some people over and my mother was passed out drunk at the end of the evening, and I cleaned up the whole apartment as if, like, in the morning you could not tell that there was anybody there at all. You can only tell that from the pile of dishes in the dishwasher and on the drying rack. It was completely spotless clean. And I remember my mother waking up and being in such awe and validation of how well I did, and thank you so much. And I remember her calling her friend on the phone, and I overheard a conversation saying like, Anna cleaned up as if there was nobody here yesterday. Like, it's incredible. And I felt so validated. And that is when a story was created, that I get validation by supporting those who cannot do it themselves. And I realized, without understanding, because again, 95% of your life is subconscious. We have a programming in childhood, and that's the programming that runs. We may not even be aware of it. I didn't even remember this memory until this morning. There came this pattern of, I can be the light for others. I can be the light for those who cannot pull their own weight. And in reality, that is complete crap. And my inner child, as I was doing that inner child work, was just wanting to scream, be your own damn light. Like, I'm tired. It's not for me to be your light. Be your own damn light. And this is important to me in the sense that I have so many incredible people in my life, so many people that are there driven and they shift their life. They also came from, having that catalyst moment of, I don't want to live like that anymore. And they turn things around and they choose a different life. And all of those people are there shining their light. And then my light adds on to that and we bounce off of each other. And then there's this beautiful creation that they inspire me and I inspire them. And that's a completely different dynamic. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is when you are there shining your light, hoping that others will be inspired to shine theirs, even though they don't do anything for it, even though they persistently just use, and it feels good, right? That's a sneaky thing. It feels good because you get things like, oh my God, you're the sunshine in my life. You're like an angel in my life. This is amazing. You're so great. And you're serving as that float, not realizing that you're not serving them by being a float. At some point, you have to let go, and the person has to either drown or learn how to swim. And I understand that this is painful. I was dealing with a parent who was going into basically suicidal mode, that I was there, and I had to just make a decision of, if I let go, something might happen. And that had to be okay, because I was at the place of, I can't be your float, and you either have to drown or you have to learn how to swim, but I can't do it for you. And that's a really difficult choice. So with this one, be your own light, yes. And I do want to, because there's a shadow and light aspect to both of those, right? When we go into, well, be your own damn light, and this is none of my business, because that's the shadow masculine. That's kind of like, well, everybody should be able to take care of themselves, right? And it's kind of like, and I can't save you. There's a difference between putting up those walls, and I have so many clients that are there going from overgiving to, okay, now I'm going to go into my fort, and this is it, and I don't want to have anything to do with other people because they're just sucking the joy and light and happiness and everything out of me. That comes out of fear. When we build those walls, that comes out of fear. And that's no better than overgiving. So when we're there afraid that someone can take something from us, we're still living in that lack. I remember a few months ago, actually, I had this energetic attack, this person who completely drained me. And I realized it was a completely random thing on a street. And I realized that it's not, nothing can be taken away from you, because you are everything. And the way what I received my guidance in that moment with that interaction with that random person was that if you invite somebody, a homeless person, to your home, and they're there just taking all the food they can, and they're stuffing their bags in their pockets and whatever, because they're so deprived from it, but you would just be there. Why? There is a whole table of food, and there's a fridge, and there's another fridge. I have endless abundance. It's limitless. So you would look at this person not understanding why they do what they do. And it was the same for me, in the sense that this person was sucking out my energy, and I felt so deprived. But then that lack of can only be created when you buy into somebody's story. How can someone take anything away from me if I have an endless flow of it? If I have an endless flow of energy, of positivity, of joy, of happiness, it's always available to you. It is only when you see something as limited that someone can take it away. Because if they take it, then you don't have anything. But again, it's endless. It's just tuning into that, remembering that it's endless, remembering that nobody can take anything away from you. And that when we're there, there's nothing wrong with shining your light in a sense of, I do want to give, and you can't take anything from me. But when the people are there just hoping that you will be the answer to it all, right? Hoping that you will be their solution, and you're buying into those stories, it's not for you to do. And it's absolutely not for you to buy into those stories. So that is the message for today. That it's okay to tell people, be your own damn light. Because it's that combination of both. It's when we are each standing for our own light, is when we are each our own lighthouse. But then when we can co-create powerfully with others. Not by trying to get something from someone else, or not by trying to save someone else, but by standing firmly in our center and co-creating with those who are willing to stand in theirs. So, ending the year, are there some conversations that you may need to have, whether with yourself or with those around you who have been maybe hoping that you would be their light? Or maybe you have become aware that you are hoping that somebody would be that light in your life. And where is it that you can shift that? Again, just bring to awareness any of those dynamics. And the reason I called this video today is careful for your intention, is because life is just so powerful and it gives you exactly what you want. God, source, life, universe, whatever you want to call it. I said the intention of I want this released. There was this mother wound that I knew I had and I wanted it released. And I said the intention that I want it released before the end of the year. And then this morning I just had this, it was honestly, it felt like a physical purge, as if like when you have food poisoning, you can't stop. Like you're just feeling sick and you like, I wanted to stop, but I can't. That's what it felt like emotionally today. It's like one thing kept coming up after another, and just like my stomach was sick, as if like I don't want this to come out anymore. But the release just kept coming, and all these memories and emotions that again I didn't even know were there. So setting the intention for freedom, for release, for ease, and having the courage to have those difficult conversations, like I said, beginning with yourself. And on this note, I'm sending you so much love, and may you have a powerful day.